Hello and welcome to Huddersfield Town Extra Time, live from the John Smith Stadium after Town have just beaten Peterborough United 3-0 at home. I'm pleased to be joined by former Terrier Lee Makel and Town fan Andy Lawson. How are you two both doing this evening?
Very well, thanks, Raj. Very happy after that.
Good. By yourself, Lee?
Well, thanks. Yeah, very well.
Lee, sorry, you were in the ground tonight. I was going to say, how was it to that comfortable home win in person?
No, I always enjoy going to games and thoroughly enjoyed the game tonight. I thought obviously deserved the win. Played in the second game more than anything else, and the two early goals obviously helped. In terms of when they were chasing the game against Cardiff last week, but it kind of flipped this week where they got the two early goals and it made it a lot easier for themselves.
Yeah, Andy, how was the feeling tonight for you? Because obviously, like Lee says, it was the opposite of that Cardiff game, more in tune with the Birmingham game we've just had, where Town hit the lead, kept the lead, and were really professional and composed for the full 90.
Yeah, certainly. I think at the minute we give a real feeling that not quite that we are unbeatable, but we seem to be able to take games in our stride at the moment. You look again at this game a bit like the Birmingham game, where I feel like we were always in control of that. Even though Peterborough maybe kicked into gear a little bit after about the 30th minute or so, we were always in control. That early goal really helps. The second goal early on really kind of cements that. And then, from then on, we were in control. I'm very happy with everything that we saw tonight.
Lee, I think the standout player for tonight is Tom Lee. He's bandaged up like Terry Butcher, as Harry Toffolo called him, full time. Two brilliant headers, clean sheet for him. Can you just sum up how good that was a performance for a centre half coming back from a massive gash in his head?
Yeah, no, he took his goals extremely well. You'd see it being on set piece. Because they were a danger every time they had a corner situation or a free kick in the wider areas, they varied the set pieces. And obviously you're wanting your centre halves to come up and chip in with goals, and for him to get two very good goals, a little bit different. The first one was getting in front and little glance and header, and then the second one went back post area and then he just peeled off to get the second phase of play. Great goals. But like I said, there were dangerous pieces tonight, Huddersfield.
Yeah, it's been a feature of our play, Andy, these set pieces. Is it nice to see a couple of goals come in from that route again?
Yeah, it was an early season thing, wasn't it? For us, we became known as the most dangerous team, I guess, for set pieces, for corners and things. So yeah, nice to see back with us looking threatening like that. I feel as well, though, that where we've adapted since the early parts of the season is, we're able to still do that, as we've proven tonight with the corners. But we are much better from open play now than we were in the early parts of the season. You look at how dangerous we can be. You look at the kind of weapons that we've got. I mean, you just look at Sorba Thomas set piece wise, but you look at Sorba Thomas kind of in just open play. I feel like tonight maybe he looks a little bit tired toward the end, but I think that's understandable with the amount of football that we're playing and the amount of impact that he's really had. So I don't mind that at all. And I feel like, it's good to see that those set piece dangers from us have come back in, but also how good do we look from open play? We're looking really good at the minute.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the manager has got to take great credit as well, because he set his team really well. Peterborough went like a 3-4-3 in the first 20 minutes, and they were all over the place in terms of trying to get near a Huddersfield player. But I thought the two advanced midfielders made it really difficult for Peterborough, because they were playing behind the midfield and pulling wide to open spaces for the switches of play, and they had the overloads down the sides time and time again. But again, I was surprised when he went 4-2-4, 4-4-2 towards the end. I know 3-0 up, but why not try things, be a little bit different? That's probably got himself where he is, because he's a wee bit different. So it was good to try these different scenarios, try these different systems, because you never know, you might have to, use them again further on down the line. But you could see that they're well drilled. Tell you, I was really impressed by how they pressed the ball. Everyone seemed to understand the triggers, when to go and press, when to sit off. And not only that, it obviously comes from the front, but it also comes from the back and squeezing the game and making it really difficult to play through the lines. And also the goalkeeper, his starting position, if anything's over the top, he can deal with it as well. So all in all, it was a good performance, comfortable performance. And I thought they didn't really get out of second gear, truth be told. They started off really, really well. And got a little bit complacent at times. I'm sure the manager would have had a word with them at half time. But they were comfortable, and a comfortable game for them, which is what you want, especially for a big game coming up on Monday as well.
Yeah, we'll come on to that game on Monday in a while. But something that you touched on earlier, Andy, was the play from open play. And that's how the first goal came about for Danel Sanani. Inside 10 minutes, he had a goal and assist to his name. It's a funny one and shows the sort of strength and depth of this squad that Danel's probably had a couple of better games in the past few weeks. And then he pops up in the opening 10 minutes and pretty much puts the game to bed with his two contributions. So it was good to see him return to form a little bit in that opening half.
I think Danel showed us with the goal, particularly just the quality that he has. I feel as well like it's a team effort as well. He just happened to be the one who it was that final bit of quality to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, if you look at that situation, I think we'd had 3 opportunities to score, sort of 3 chances that were blocked before then. Danel, the edge of the box, managed to curl it in. I mean, he's shown us before just how skillful he is at being able to curl it in. Then, as you say, he puts the cross in for the corner for the goal. He is a player who has obviously got an immense amount of skill. Yes, I think you're right. I think he possibly has been a bit quieter, but then he's a player that I feel like will push on from this. And I'm hopeful that if you look at the other players available in the squad, he's going to want to really push to say, look, I am here. I want to be in the starting 11. This is what I can do.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. One thing that was obviously interesting from that first start is, Lee, with Peterborough being a team where they are in the league, they'll have wanted to come and keep it tight and build themselves into the game and get a bit of confidence. And Town completely took that away from them straight away. They had to make an early change. They made another change at half time. And we completely took them away from them and stopped them being able to bed in right from the off. And that must have been the exactly what Carlos and his coaching staff were going for.
100%, especially with the run that team are on at the minute. Teams are going to come here and they're going to sit back and try and frustrate Huddersfield and try and nick one on a counter attack or nick one from a set piece. But getting an early goal like they did was fantastic. Like you touched on, the way he just guided it in the top corner, wasn't going to go anywhere else as soon as he left his foot. And then to get a second one so soon afterwards as well, just icing on the cake. But then again, it could have been 3-0 up after 20 minutes when they hit the bar as well. So no, I mean, completely different to the Cardiff game. But like I said earlier, it was because they weren't really at full pelt for 90 minutes. I thought they controlled the game. I thought that the game awareness was excellent and just save them legs for a big game coming up.
Yeah, Andy, it's an interesting one, isn't it? And something I want to kind of take stock of is the fact that we're sat here after Town have just won comfortably 3-0 at home. We've 18 games unbeaten, haven't lost since November, and we're not. It's not like we're sat here bouncing out of our chairs. That's not to say we're not happy, but it's almost become par for the course. Touch wood that this is the sort of thing that Town do these days. I don't think we're being complacent or taking these things for granted, but when you start that way and you see the game out the way, it speaks more to confidence and complacency that you have in this squad and this team. The fact that we're kind of sat here, obviously elated and happy as can be, but there's no element of surprise or that sort of shock there was after Cardiff where we'd nicked it late on. there's none of that because we had the time, fortunately enough during the game to process the result and be happy with it in real time.
I think the thing as well with the confidence, Raj, is it's in the playing squad, it's in the management. You can tell it's in everybody at the club, but it's also in the fans. I mean, we're on 62 points. We've got 10 games to go. Bit maths, 30 points still to play for. I'm at the kind of point where I'm thinking, can we actually get 92 points by the end of the season? I am maybe being a bit too optimistic here, but it's that thing, isn't it? It's the confidence that it gives. We see what's happening on the pitch. It inspires us fans. You can then see the impact that we can have as you hear the singing in the stadium and things. And that, again, it's this cycle, isn't it? Lee will be able to tell you when you're a player and you're on the pitch, if you've got fans there who are really buzzing, really happy, that helps you to buzz. And it's just that cycle. It just keeps going round. And at the moment, I feel like Huddersfield Town, we have that 92 points, possibly pushed it a bit from me, but still, why not? We can dream. This is a year we can dream.
We call you the optimistic Town fan for a reason, Andy. We do. Lee, if we take a look around the league a little bit and to Monday as well, down the road in South Yorkshire, in the inferior part of Yorkshire, there was a game between Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest, who will be playing on Monday. They drew 1-1. Is it another close game at the top of the league? That's got to be in terms of momentum and stuff. Town, having won 3-0, that's a little bit more momentum than maybe Forest will have, having just nicked a point at the end of that game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the run that Huddersfield are on at the minute, it's gonna, they're gonna go into the game full of confidence. And I think as a player playing from home, you almost play with a little bit more, not as much pressure on you. So I think, the home team Forest, they'll have a lot of pressure on them, even though that we're on such a good run. And also they would have had a difficult, a real difficult game tonight, compared to what the Huddersfield players have had. So again, recovery is really important. How they, go about that, how they set up for the game on Monday. But again, if Huddersfield can go there and just play their game and don't get all caught up in the FA Cup, because it's a big cup. Playing in it myself, the press want interviews with everybody. They want to know the team, and it's just the whole build up can be a little bit, can take that energy away from you a little bit. So if they can just like been preparing for every single game that they've been on this run, then hopefully it'll be another win and get through the next round for a nice little easy game.
Yeah, touch wood. We've, Lee touched on it a bit cheeky there, Andy, but both teams have got that carrot of Liverpool at home dangling in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, the sixth round. We've been to the City Ground and won already this season, right before the turn of the year, the last game of 2021, 1-0 away win. It was a brilliant night, but Forest were probably the better team on that evening, but Town put in one of the most resilient defensive performances of the year, and Dwayne Holmes' goal saw us home. How do you see this game on Monday? Because it's completely different in the cup. Both teams will be slightly changed up a little bit, I imagine, but they've got the squad depth at each side to rotate, but the occasion's huge. It's on television, Liverpool at home in the next round, and it's a serious end of the competition, because without discounting Forest or Liverpool for either side, you're getting extremely close to a day at Wembley at this point as well.
I feel for Town, actually, we go into this with the pressure off a little bit. As soon as we were drawn against Forest a few weeks ago, a mate of mine, he's a neutral in this fixture. He was texting me going, "Forest are a brilliant team, kind of best of luck," and all that. Well, actually, since then, Town have continued on our really good run. But I feel like to a neutral, we go in under the radar for this game, and I feel like that is going to help. I mean, if you look at the league table, we shouldn't go in under the radar. We are currently second as it stands, but I think that's what we do. So I think that works in favour for us. Like you say, we've already got this history of this season. We've already had a good result against Forest. At the moment, I think for me, I think we can't look at Liverpool. It feels a bit odd, actually, that we already know the draw for the next round at this point. I think you can't get ahead of yourself. I'd love to see us playing Liverpool at home, but we've got to get past Forest. I feel like we go into this in a very strong position to get past them, but it's all about what happens on Monday night at the end of the day. And I can't predict everything, otherwise I'd be a bazillionaire with what I've bet. So I'm not, clearly. So, we have to wait and see. But the carrot and the stick, or the carrot thing of Liverpool, brilliant. Love that. But we've got to get past Forest first.
Yeah, I completely. I don't think anybody's taking this game on Monday for granted, and everything is asterisked by the fact that we've still got a massive hard tie to play. Lee, what does the mentality have to be going to the City Ground? Because, with all due respect, the television coverage and the build-up will be largely focused on Forest and their history in the competition and their history as a club. And as Andy touched on, we won't be favourites in that game, regardless of league position. And, given that Forest have knocked off a couple of Premier League teams at home, and, Town have done Burnley away as well, which is, no small feat. That's, how do the lads go into this feeling? What's the mentality with this run behind them? Are they going to be confident? Are they going to be wanting to go there and cause a bit of an upset?
Yeah, definitely. The full of confidence. The game itself. You're going into the game as been touched on by Andy and yourself, that Forest favourites, but I'm sure the players will be told, just go and enjoy yourself. Go and play like you've been playing. Play as a team, as a unit. And I'm sure early in the game they'll try and keep it tight, and then they'll get into the game because their fans will be backing them to push on and try and get that early goal like we got tonight. That's what they'll want more than anything else, to try and upset our rhythm in our game. But the manager will just be saying, go and enjoy yourself. All the pressure's on Forest. Go and take the game to them when you can. Go and play your own game and go and show everybody how well you have done in the past few months, and why you're on this run. So that'll be the message coming from the manager. Also stick together. The camaraderie around the place, not just with the players, but you could sense it with the fans as well. So why can't you go there and cause an upset? I don't think they're being upset, because I feel as though Huddersfield should be the favourites. That's my personal thought. But the away team's going there to play there with without any pressure and just go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, is that how you feel, Andy? Is this one of those occasions where we've got to actually enjoy the occasion? It's been a few years since we've been this deep in the competition. They don't roll around often, especially occasions like this. Another big team. Is this one where you, as a Town fan, are going to savour it, enjoy the cup run, and what happens at the end of the day, and a result has to be found on the night. So we're going to know one way or the other on Monday evening how we're doing.
Cup runs are not something that, as a Town fan, I'm particularly used to. I'm more used to going to Chelsea in the third round of the FA Cup and kind of losing 2-1 or whatever we did in the noughties. And then there was the Alan Lee goal, I think, against Arsenal away at the Emirates. So I'm used to playing the kind of bigger teams and not really having the big runs. So, yeah, I'm loving it. I mean, what is not to like about this season, Raj? I mean, this season has been brilliant as a Town fan. This is, if you like, the cherry on top is if we can also get a cup run and we can carry on keeping that momentum going and we can beat Forest. And I see no reason why we can't just say, as a kind of the neutral, I think, sees Forest as the team who go in as the favourite for this. But why can't we cause an upset? And why can't we go to the next round and take on Liverpool? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but what is it about us that we can't go to? Do you know what I mean? This is the season where if we're going to do something a bit different, we're going to do something a bit special. It seems to be this is the year. So, hey, why not? I'm very excited for it all.
Yep, I think why not is probably the right tone to leave it on. Thank you very much for your time, Andy. Thank you for your time as well, Lee, and hope you enjoyed your visit back to John Smith this evening. And thanks as ever to Sportsbroker for sponsoring the show. And we'll speak to you after that Forest game on Monday night.